Suburban black girls really got to stop giving hood niggas chances. Welcome to No Cap No Filter. I'm your host Marley G, back at y'all with another episode of Run It With You. And today we got to run it about this tweet I came across which said basically that, and it started causing a whole bunch of discussion online, big old debate. And I think another woman made a follow up video to this. I haven't seen it, so we're gonna react to it together. Without further ado, let's get right on into it.
Speaking, suburban women are not compatible with hood men. I do not know what you want to call that. Specifically to my black girls, listen and listen well. If you were raised as a suburban black girl, you are not compatible with a man from the hood. If you were raised in privilege, any way, shape, or form, you are not compatible with a man who lived his life in survival mode. A lot of men who were raised in survival mode never get out of survival mode in here, okay? In here, they never do. If they do, it takes a lot of effort, okay? Those people will do anything to you to self preserve. There was a lady on here a little while ago, and she dove into the psychology behind the incompatibility of a suburban black girl and a hood man.
Okay. First of all, I really do think a lot of the times opposites attract. And I really do think just because you from the hood, it don't mean that you can't transition and you know start to see life outside the block, start to see life outside your city, start to see life outside your state, start to expand on your education. And who's to say you wasn't educated and living in the hood at the same time? Some people from the hood make good grades in class. Some people from the hood, they had valedictorian, in high school, graduating. Like, just because you from the hood, don't mean you fit all the stereotypes. Now, let's just say, for the sake of argument, they are talking about the typical stereotype Pookie and Ray Ray, the literal no life dudes who really ain't got nothing going on, just on the corners, at the gas stations, probably move a little weed here and there, just on some small fry, typical hood nigga shit. Those dudes, I definitely think suburban women definitely don't need to give a chance to. But the thing is, suburban women can't differentiate those type of dudes from a hood. Well, I can't really say that because there's a lot of girls in the hood who can't differentiate, and they still mess with these same low life type of dudes. Now, okay, now I will say this. A good example of this is Sky Jackson and the dude Erky she was messing with. No way, shape, or form she should have ever been messing with him. The fact that he had access to her was mind-boggling. I think he met her online though. So what I think she's about to get into with the psychological, I think a lot of girls from the hood, I seen somebody say this and I kind of agree. They feel like, they don't feel black enough. So to combat that rhetoric or that narrative that they have against them, try to beat the allegations by going get with a guy who is from the hood. Basically how Nunu was messing with Rashad in ATL. Now, funny thing about ATL, I don't think no dude would have broke up with that girl just because she was lying, saying she was from the hood and actually rich. That was kind of crazy to me. But I do believe a lot of women from the hood, women from the suburbs try to mess with a guy from the hood to try to, feel more connected to black culture or whatnot. And women just naturally attracted to bad boys. Now, I've seen people say you don't see suburban white girls messing with rednecks. You don't see suburban Mexican girls messing with trailer park Mexicans. I think the difference is we glorify our, lower class people. We glorify all that. So our lower class people are put on a pedestal compared to other communities. They lower class people aren't put on a pedestal. Now that's not to say that these suburban white girls still won't mess with a bad boy from a middle class neighborhood that's white, or a suburban Mexican girl from the suburbs wouldn't mess with a bad boy from a decent neighborhood, but they just not going to go to the bottom of the barrel. The black girls, they're going to go to the bottom of the barrel. you know.
Okay? It will never work. It will always be resentful of you and your upbringing. They will always be jealous. They will always be in competition. It will never matter how much you explain to that man that the differences in your socioeconomic backgrounds is not going to deter you from wanting to be in a relationship with him. That man said, she has a good family, she'll be fine. What does her family have to do with this decision that you made? I have a whole laundry list of some of the crazy things that my exes have said to me out of spite, resentment, jealousy, because I was raised a suburban black girl. I come from a good family. I have a great background. I was raised in some type of privilege. One of them being, I remember I moved in with my ex or whatever. And after everything was done and we had a fight, this man said to me, I took you out of your father's house. I took you out of your father's house and I put a roof over my head. You know what I said? At least my father had a house.
Now, that's one thing I do think about the black community. We do shame higher status socioeconomic people. For instance, if you grew up and you didn't do no struggle, they will shame you for not growing up, going through no struggle. They will shame you for growing up with a silver spoon in your mouth. You know, they will shame you for being green to having, you know, no type of situational awareness in certain circumstances, you know. But it's crazy because a lot of these rappers, they have their kids in these type of neighborhoods and they're proud that these kids, you know, aren't struggling like they had, you know. But some kids, you know, they fight with that. And just like how women, they want to date guys who are from lower class, the guys themselves that are in the suburbs, they want to be the guys that's in a lower class, which is why you see a lot of guys in the suburbs still trying to live, you know, like their hood do. Julio case, for example, the one guy, the red dude with the wavy hair. Uh, T.I.'s son, you know, he always trying to prove that he's from the hood. He ain't always just grew up in no nice neighborhood. Boost's son, like you know, everybody you know try to shame these dudes because they grew up good. They didn't grow up like their fathers, and that's is as backwards to me. Now, if you're trying to say you not like that and you trying to portray that, that's one thing. But it's saying, but some people try to tell people they not like that when they're not even trying to portray that. That's another thing, you know. So I do think that in some situations, some dudes from the hood can be what they want to call it, reformed. You know, they could, you know, grew up them ways, but they, you know, they got themselves together and they don't, you know, emulate that same type of, you know, lifestyle no more. And I think a lot of women would like that, a reform dude, because when you grow up in struggle and you know how to navigate certain situations and stuff, that's attractive to a woman because you actually been through something and you overcame it. So if things ever got real, you know, if things ever got to a point where you gotta display security, she'll feel more comfortable with the dude who came from a certain background. If things ever got real and the lights went off, you got to make something out of nothing. You got to make do with little. She will feel more secure with the dude who grew up in the struggle. So it's a lot of other different type of attraction factors rather than him just being a hood dude and he got street credibility or has street credibility, you know. So, like I say, man, I think our community is the community that does this the most, but all women like a bad boy. Damn near every woman you could think of, no matter how good she is, she probably has dated at least one or two bad boys. You know, the problem is the bad boys that the black women date are usually the Pookies and the Ray Rays. You know, it's never the, you know, yeah, you got a bad side to you, but you educate. It's never like a Tupac type of, you know, guy. It's always just the worst of the worst, you know, bottom of the barrel type of guy, you know. But I want to know what y'all think down in the comment section below. Women, if you got any experiences with this and y'all from the suburbs, let me know what you think. Women, if you from the hood, let me know what y'all think about women from the suburbs trying to date, you know, men from the hood and men. let me know y'all situations and experience that y'all had dating girls from the suburbs if you come from the inner city area. Let me know down in the comment section below. If you like the video, hit the like button. If you're not subscribed yet, what you're waiting on. Until next time, I'm out.